Right now, a quiet revolution is underway. It's not happening on the front pages of every newspaper, but it's building momentum, and in the next 10 to 15 years, it's poised to reshape our entire global economy. This revolution is being built on a powerful combination of technologies: blockchain, cryptocurrencies, Web 3.0, and the explosive power of artificial intelligence. The way we bank, shop, create, and even own things online is about to change as dramatically as it did when the internet first arrived. Today, our digital world is run by giants. We trust banks to handle our money, big tech companies to manage our data, and governments to issue our currency. It's a world of central authorities. But this new economy envisions something different. A world that's decentralized, where power and control are handed back to the users. A world where trust is built not on institutions, but on transparent code. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what this new economy is. We'll explore the core technologies in simple terms, see how they work together, and look at a realistic timeline for how this will impact your daily life. And most importantly, we'll talk about why understanding this shift is no longer optional. Stick around, because the future is arriving faster than you think. To understand where we're going, we first need to understand the building blocks of this new world. Let's start with the foundation, blockchain. Forget the complicated jargon for a second. Imagine a shared digital notebook that's distributed across thousands of computers around the world. Every time a new transaction happens, say you send money to a friend, a new entry or block is created and added to the chain. Because everyone has a copy of this notebook, it's virtually impossible to cheat. To change a single entry, you'd have to hack thousands of computers simultaneously, all while they're constantly checking each other's work. This makes the ledger immutable and tamper-proof. Our current system relies on a central database, like your bank's private ledger. It's a single point of failure. Blockchain creates trust through transparency and mathematics, not by relying on a single company. Next up, cryptocurrencies and tokens. You've all heard of Bitcoin. It was the first digital currency to run on a blockchain, allowing people to send value directly to each other without a bank. But crypto is just the beginning. The bigger idea is tokens. A token is a digital asset that can represent almost anything of value on a blockchain. It could be a digital dollar, a share in a project, or even your identity. A powerful example is the non-fungible token, or NFT. Fungible just means replaceable, like a dollar bill. Non-fungible means unique, like the Mona Lisa. Think of a concert ticket. In the old world, you worry about fakes. A tokenized ticket on a blockchain is unique and verifiable. Its entire history is on the ledger, so you know it's real without having to trust the reseller. This concept of tokenizing assets, from real estate to art, is a cornerstone of the new economy. And that brings us to the big idea, Web 3.0. To really get why it's such a revolutionary concept, you have to look at the internet's journey. First, we had Web 1.0 back in the 90s, a read-only internet. We could look at static websites, but we were mostly passive consumers of information. Then Web 2.0 exploded onto the scene, creating the read-write internet we live in today. Suddenly, we could all create, share, and connect through social media. But there was a catch. In this world, we became the product. Our data, our content, it's all controlled and monetized by a few giant corporations. Web 3.0 is the answer to that problem. It's the next evolution, the read-write-own web. Web 3 is the vision of an internet powered by blockchain, where you are in control. Instead of logging into every website with an account owned by Google or Facebook, you'd use a single personal crypto wallet that acts as your digital identity. You'd own your data, your content, and your digital assets. Imagine a social media platform where, instead of the platform getting rich off your posts, you earn tokens for your contributions. And with those tokens, you get to vote on the platform's rules. It's an internet owned by its users, not by a handful of corporations. So we have the individual pieces, blockchain, tokens, and Web 3. But the real magic happens when they come together. They create a powerful, interconnected ecosystem. Let's take a look at this new ecosystem in action. Let's look at decentralized finance, or DeFi. DeFi platforms are like banks run entirely by code. They use smart contracts, self-executing agreements on the blockchain, to connect lenders and borrowers directly. Tokens represent the money being loaned, and the blockchain records every transaction transparently. There's no bank manager, no loan officer. The code handles everything 24/7, accessible to anyone with an internet connection. This could dramatically lower fees and open up financial services to billions of people who are currently unbanked. Another huge area is the creator economy and the metaverse. In a Web 2 game today, if you buy an item, a skin, a sword, you don't really own it. The company does. You can't sell it for real money or take it to another game. In a Web 3 metaverse, your digital assets are NFTs that you truly own. You can trade them on open marketplaces or even use them across different compatible virtual worlds. A fashion designer could create a digital outfit, sell it as an NFT, and earn royalties every time it's resold, all automatically tracked by a smart contract. This creates a real functioning economy inside virtual spaces, where your digital creations have lasting value. Now let's add the ultimate catalyst to this mix: artificial intelligence. If blockchain is the trustworthy nervous system of the new economy, AI is the intelligent brain that will make it all run faster, smarter, and easier for everyone. It is the supercharger that changes the entire game. Here's how they supercharge each other. First, AI makes Web3 more secure and efficient. AI agents can scan blockchain networks 24/7, hunting for bugs in smart contracts or detecting fraudulent activity in real time. It's like having an automated cybersecurity team that never sleeps, building trust in these new financial systems. Second, AI makes Web3 easier to use. Let's be honest, Web3 can be clunky right now. Managing crypto keys is intimidating. Imagine an AI assistant that helps you navigate this world, finding the best interest rates in DeFi, or managing your NFT collection based on your goals, all while explaining things in plain language. Third, blockchain makes AI more trustworthy and democratic. A huge problem with AI today is that it's controlled by a few tech giants with massive private data sets. Blockchain can change that. Imagine a marketplace where you can choose to contribute your data to train an AI and get paid for it in tokens. Blockchain would track where the data came from, ensuring it's authentic and that you're compensated fairly. We could even have AI models that are owned and governed by a community of token holders, not a single corporation, leading to more transparency and alignment with public interest. And finally, together they can fight misinformation. AI can flag a deepfake video, and the blockchain can prove the origin of the original authentic content, creating a powerful system for verifying truth. Of course, this new economy doesn't exist in a vacuum. It relies on a whole host of other supporting technologies that are also rapidly advancing, all working together. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the unseen infrastructure that makes it all possible. Think of it like building a new digital infrastructure. The very foundation is the network, where 5G and 6G act as the superhighways, providing the lightning-fast, low-latency connection needed for billions of devices to transact in real time. Then, you need to connect this digital world to our physical one, and that's the job of the Internet of Things, IoT. These are the sensors and smart devices that feed real-world data onto the blockchain. Imagine a smart shipping container that automatically logs its own location and triggers a payment upon arrival. All this activity is powered by the immense engine room of cloud and edge computing, which provides the massive processing power to run these networks and AI models. And finally, wrapping it all in a layer of trust and security is advanced cryptography. Technologies like zero-knowledge proofs will allow us to prove things, like being over 18, without ever revealing our private data, creating a perfect balance between transparency and privacy. All these pieces are converging, creating a technological fusion that will power the next wave of innovation. Okay, that's a lot of tech talk. But what does this actually look like in our daily lives? Let's explore what your life might look like in this new economy over the next 10 to 15 years. In finance, sending money across the world could be as instant and cheap as sending an email. Your mortgage application might be approved in minutes by a decentralized protocol, not a bank. In commerce, you might scan a bag of coffee at the store to see its entire journey on the blockchain, from the exact farm it grew on to the date it was roasted. Your customer loyalty points could become tokens that you actually own and can trade or sell. In the creator economy, musicians might release an album as a collection of tokens. As a fan, you could buy a token, giving you a tiny share of the future royalties, which are paid out automatically by smart contract every time the song is streamed. In your daily life, many of these transactions will be invisible. Your self-driving electric car might automatically pay for charging and tolls using a built-in crypto wallet. You might read an ad-free news article, and your browser will automatically send a micropayment of a few cents to the author. This is a world with fewer middlemen, lower costs, and greater transparency. And while it might sound like science fiction, the foundations are being laid right now. Major banks are already using blockchain for trades. Retail giants are using it to track their supply chains. The transition has already begun. Now, before we get carried away, it's time for a reality check. As exciting as this all sounds, this transition won't be a perfectly smooth ride. We need to talk about the significant challenges ahead. First, we have to talk about energy consumption. Early blockchains like Bitcoin were incredibly energy-intensive, and while newer systems like Ethereum have cut their usage by over 99% after the merge upgrade, the environmental impact is still a key concern that must be addressed. Next, there are major issues with security and crime. The borderless nature of crypto has been exploited by criminals, and the billions lost to hacks and scams show that building more secure systems and sensible regulations is essential for building mainstream trust. On top of that, we have to contend with extreme volatility. The crypto markets are notoriously unstable, and this financial risk has to be managed before these assets can act as a stable foundation for the global economy. Finally, we face the critical risk of worsening inequality. If not handled carefully, this new economy could widen the gap between the tech-savvy and everyone else, which is why ensuring access and education for all is vital to making this revolution an inclusive one. These are not small problems, but they are also not new problems. The early internet was a wild west of scams and security flaws. Every major technological shift goes through a messy, chaotic phase before it matures. The key is to address these challenges head-on, with thoughtful design and smart regulation. So, where does all of this leave us? We've journeyed from the basics of blockchain to a future filled with AI-driven, decentralized systems. It's a vision of a world that is more efficient, more transparent, and more empowering for the individual. We're now left with a powerful choice about how we approach the future. We can either embrace the change or risk being left behind. It's easy to look at all this and feel overwhelmed or even skeptical. And that's natural. Every major technological shift in human history, from the printing press to the internet, was met with confusion, fear, and resistance. But history shows us one thing very clearly: you cannot stop a tidal wave of change. You can either learn to swim or you can risk being swept away. Resisting this shift, fighting it, or pretending it isn't happening is a strategy for being left behind. Companies that ignored the internet in the late 90s are footnotes in history books. Individuals who refuse to adapt to new tools and new systems find themselves on the wrong side of a growing economic divide. This isn't about telling you to invest your life savings in cryptocurrency. This is not financial advice. This is about something much more fundamental. This is an encouragement to stay curious, to embrace the change. It's about taking the time to learn the basics, to understand the direction the world is moving so that you can adapt, find new opportunities, and navigate the future with confidence instead of fear. The new economy is being built brick by brick right now. The question is no longer if it will arrive, but when. And the best way to prepare for the future is to help build it. If you found this guide to the future helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the technologies shaping our world. What part of this new economy excites or worries you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and stay curious.